members of the public. MCL TV Enugu State correspondent Judith Ohine has the details.
On the 30th of January 2020, the member representing Nkanu East constituency, Paul Unajiofo, presented a petition to the House on removal and withholding of old meters and placing of such consumers on estimated billing. The report of the ad hoc committee, which was presented by the Deputy Speaker Uche Ugu, revealed that the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company has continued to carry out illegal disconnection and extortion by way of reconnection fees. In 5 prayers, the Deputy Speaker disclosed that the EEDC is flouting the directive of NERC as it concerns removal of old meters.
EEDC also charges Southeast the highest electricity tariff when compared to other distribution companies in Nigeria.
The ad hoc committee came up with 5 prayers that were amended following observations from member representing Isiago constituency, Chima Obieze.
Even though this is coming late, but if they say better later, if you want to pass a resolution that will be ended and start to move the motion that this honorable house ought the federal minister of power to review the monopoly being enjoyed by the EEDC.
The Speaker recalled that the House had in several other motions and public hearings tried to understand the actions of the EEDC as it concerns alleged exploitation of consumers through estimated billing, high tariff rates and other related matters.
Not less than 3 houses belonging to a suspected leader of a kidnap gang, Okechukwu Uche, in Owenu Orata in Owerri North local government area of Imo State have been demolished. Uche, who is currently in jail at the Owerri Correctional Center, was said to have masterminded the kidnap of the wife of the traditional ruler of the community, Ugeze Comfort Okoro. The 76-year-old woman was murdered in her kidnapper's den after her family had allegedly paid ransom for her release. Her corpse was later found at a village road in Akabo community in Okuta Council area of the state. Angered by the death of the septuagenarian, people that suspected to be members of the community embarked by the police demolished the 3 mansions belonging to the suspected kidnap kingpin. The police said Uche masterminded the kidnap of the wife of the traditional ruler from jail. However, the police spokesperson Orlando Ikoku told newsmen on Wednesday that the police were not responsible for the demolition of the mansion of the lead suspect. Ikoku said that the police rounded up other suspects while they want to collect second tranche of the ransom. Tragedy struck at Nsukka local government area of Enugu State on Wednesday as a yet-to-be-identified Barakusha from Ebonyi State was electrocuted while trying to pluck mango fruits with iron close to the high-tension wires. Eyewitnesses said that the young man, when caught by live wire, was struggling to break free when he alerted the neighborhood. While speaking to newsmen, the owner of the mango tree, who identified himself simply as Chinonso, said the incident happened about 6:30 a.m. He said he was bringing out his goods for the day's business when his younger brother informed him that someone was plucking their mango fruits. On hearing that, he said he was waiting angrily for the intruder to climb down from the tree when suddenly he noticed he was caught by a live wire as he struggled for freedom. The police in Ebonyi State have arraigned one Richard Obu, 20, and Ginekachi Edam, 18, before a magistrate's court sitting in Abakaliki for allegedly killing one Kelechi Isaac. The victim was said to have allegedly gone to a native doctor to obtain charms that will prevent bullets from penetrating into his body anytime he is shot at. After drinking the charm, he ordered the accused to test the charm by firing bullets at him, but the gun penetrated his body, killing him instantly. It was further learned that the gun that was used to test the efficacy of the charm belonged to the late Isaac. The incident happened on February 5, 2020 in Amasore community, Afikpo North local government area of the state. The suspects were arraigned before the magistrate's court on Monday on 2 counts charge bordering on murder and felony. The police prosecutor, Inspector Edet Effiong, told the court that the offense is punishable under sections 324 and 319 subsection 1 of the Criminal Code. The Nigeria Police Force has arrested an alleged conspirator in the murder of an assistant director attached to the State House, Abuja, Leoticia Degan, who was killed by some assailants in her home in the Galadimawa area of the Federal Capital Territory. The FCT Police Command on Wednesday confirmed the arrest of the suspect, identified as Edrin Ohore, who is said to have conspired with others now at large to perpetrate the crime. The police said the suspect, who is currently under interrogation, is assisting the team of detectives with information that will lead to the arrest of other suspects connected to the crime. Inspector General of Police IGP Mohammed Adamu on Wednesday raised concern over the caliber of weapons wielded by pirates and oil thieves. He said even law enforcement agencies lack such weapons wielded by these criminals. The IGP expressed concern over the amounts of weapons that come into the country and end up in the hands of criminals. Adamu said this when he received senior officers of the Police, Department of State Services, DSS, and other security agencies, who are the course participants of the National Institute of Security Studies, who are in Abuja at the force headquarters. They were led by the Commandant Ayodele Adeleke. Adamu said such cooperation must not just be within the country, but also with other countries that are along the Gulf of Guinea, where such criminalities in the high sea occur. Adamu, who reiterated his support for community policing, urged that security should not be left in the hands of law enforcement officers alone. He said security should be the concern of everyone in the country. This is where we end the news, and Good Morning Abia continues after now. Stay tuned.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
There is only one place where good taste, quality and top hygiene blend to provide classic snacks and food. Apple fried chicken. Our yummy meals glide from continental to African, all freshly prepared in a modern, healthy environment. Take a look. At Apple Fried Chicken Center, children are top priority, and so we provide exciting play centers for them, giving parents sweet, relaxing moments alone. Our outdoor catering services for all events remains the rave of the moment. Now, have you tried the Apple Special Cakes and Shawarma? Oh la la! Walk into any of our outlets in Abia, Calabar, Uyo and Umuahia and give yourself a treat. Or better still, call our hotlines 080-868-77445 or 070-3963-449 or 090-3046-2362 or send us a mail. Apple Fried Chicken, experience the taste.
Our esteemed viewer, thanks for your patronage of our programs and services, for which we say thank you. We remind you that at all times you have the right to quality broadcasting, It belongs to you as well as the right to lodge complaints on broadcast materials or conduct of any broadcast station. MCL TV is open and receptive to your commendations, complaints and criticisms, as such comments strengthen and make us serve you better. Feel free at all times to address your reactions to National Broadcasting Commission, Enugu Zonal Office, Current Drive, Independent Layout, Enugu. You can email us at mbcenuguzone@yahoo.com or Modern Communications Limited, number 9B Obibo Avenue, Aba. MCL TV, the world in your home.
Hello, my name is Ruti. You can now watch your favorite TV station, MCL TV, anywhere you are around the world by following the simple procedure. Step 1. Go to Play Store and download the Next TV app. Step 2. Look out for the Next TV logo. Step 3. Sign in with your email, Facebook or Google account. Step 4. Click on entertainment to view MCL TV ARC TV channel. Step 5. Swipe to find MCL TV ARC TV. Enjoy 24 hours entertainment at your comfort. You can follow us on all our social media handle on Twitter at twitter.com/@MCLTV Network, on YouTube at MCLTV YouTube/MCLTV Network, or Facebook web.facebook/MCLTVNetwork.com, or you can WhatsApp on the number 080-330-03356. For more information on MCL TV app, please call the MCL TV customer care number 070-329-80089, 080-5722-2040, or 080-3737-3985. MCL TV, the world in your home.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Welcome to MCL Customer Care Service Information. Please listen to the following instruction upon observation of any of the following on your television screen. Bad signal. Kindly check the positioning of your antenna or system wire connection. Initial card failure or card error. Please remove and bring your smart card to the office. Once your subscription airtime expires, program rewrite or time expired will appear on the screen of your TV set. If you pay for the renewal of your subscription, please leave it on channel 7 for a couple of minutes. When there is a heavy thunderstorm, unplug power cord from the socket. For more inquiry, call us on 080-3737-3985 or in Homa on 080-6382-0685. Or you can call the technical department 081-4018-1602 or visit our accredited agents around the state.
breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Ikeji Arochukwu is a new yam festival of masquerading, feasting, and dancing. Their rich, entertaining cultures are displayed during this period. Which is a homecoming for all arrows at home and abroad. Their most cherished festival and happens every last week of the month of September. Much about the arrows was in their great past. Their ancestral fathers were the local merchant traders, and their principal goods mostly slaves. They were the local agents of the black, ivory, and gold traders with Europe. Still following them are relics of their great past. One of their great sons, known as Kanu Okuroji, erected this native building of mud as his private collections during the black, ivory, and gold trade with Europe. Known as Ulonto Koro, Okoro's little house, of no regret.
Now, this place has been made during, let me say, 14th century. You know, like what you're seeing here now is a chain. This chain now, like the Okoroji himself, the main man that owns here, this is seat. Anytime he sits here and put his legs here and judge any slave, his own judgment is final. And if you watch out there, this is the chain for the slaves. Maybe if a slave, any slave that comes in here, if you don't speak Igbo, there's something like concussion, like that pot there. This pot here, they will make something and give to you. Once you take it, because the man himself doesn't speak English, he speaks Igbo. So once they ask you a question in Igbo, you start answering. He will just put you here. He will change like this. Sorry. He will stay like this and they will use this thing and handcuff you. Put legs and hands. He will handcuff you like this. You will now start talking. So once he's finished his judgment, they will take you over to the other side. There's a room there which you normally park there.
Aros of old also had a revered deity known as Chukwu Abia and Ibinu Pabi. This great historic oracle had the powers to kill and to provide, as well as a supreme judge.
But most often, the dead from Chukwu Abiama's chambers have been known to resurrect and surface as slaves at the ports of Calabar, waiting to board their ocean-going vessels to the outside world.
Devotees came from far and near to the great Chukwu Abiama. The last chief priest of the deity, this late 19th century Aro, known as Okurafo, shortly after British soldiers invaded the town in 1901. Their great creek, the famous Onwaswa Masu, from where many of their slaves were shipped to Calabar. For the slaves, here was their point of no return to their native Igbo land and Ibibio land homes during the great slave trade.
Many American Negroes, all of them passed through here. They passed through here. So this is a very, and if that this beach is open, in fact, there could have been another income in Arochukwu. Another income in Arochukwu.
Arochukwu today in Abia State, Nigeria, is still the ancestral home of all Aros at home and as permanent strangers in the diaspora. In our upcoming series, we have a mini-series of these early Igbo elites of southeastern Nigeria. We call it The Road to Arochukwu. All these and more in the series Kings and Kingdoms of the Niger. When was the last time you saw a war canoe? This may be your very first time as you watch this 2009 film clip of this particular canoe with men in black rowing up and down the stream in this colorful water show. During the late 19th century, some of the local war canoes were equipped with early European recoilless rifles, like the Maxim gun, as it was known. Here in Opobo it was called Odejinji, and their war canoes as Giki. Also on the River Sunbridle, of what is today known as the Asai and Okokotoru rivers of Rivers State, Nigeria. Their war canoes was known as the Obaro. It was equipped with cannon guns. For these riverines, their great past are preserved in their colorful water shows like this. Their ancestral fathers fought many of their wars from hand-paddled canoes to either invade or in defense of their kingdoms. The Nembes of Bayelsa on the Brass River called their warboat Ibo. It was this Ibo that attacked British formations on the Akassa, which brought about the Akassa raid of 1896. Amongst the Ishekiris of the western Niger Delta, their cannon gun is known as Gagamati. These ancient European military hardware still lives with them. If they are not lying on the bare ground, they are used as symbols of greatness on the eastern and western Niger Delta. In the western Niger Delta, one of their most modern wars on record that was fought on their creeks started in the 1890s. No sooner the collapse of Jaja's oil market on the Imo River, his banishment and death in 1891, the western Niger Delta became a war zone. Coastal war chiefs armed with their war canoes and cannons fired at the intruder of the times. Their intruders were the British colonial formations on their creeks and rivers, who came to enforce the harsh dictates of colonization on them. And the British colonial agents in Africa were also armed, and they returned fire from their well-equipped gunboats. We call it the fall of the kingdom in our series, Kings and Kingdoms of the Niger. 1425, Portuguese sailors had reached the west coast of Africa. One of their early sailors entered this great river of the Shekiris, known as Ugborudu and Madawo, in present-day Delta State of Nigeria. They bought their 4 slaves on this river by barter, all of them females, and named the Ugborudu River Rio de Escravos, Portuguese for the River of Slaves.
Slave brutality on these rivers began with the early Portuguese as far back as the 15th century. The sick and stubborn slaves detected on board their ancient caravelas, they threw on board these rivers.
Do you know that the coastal Ishekiris of the western Niger Delta had a long interaction with Portuguese, even after the Portuguese had left the west coast of Africa in the 16th century? An early Ishekiri was already in Portugal. In the year 1728, he attended an early Portuguese school in the Portuguese town of Cumbria. He married a Portuguese, and the union gave them a half-caste who became king of Ishekiri. His name was Dom Domingo, the first Ishekiri king to be addressed as Ogiame Atuase I. After a period of over 320 years came Atuase II. This present-day Olu of Warri, Ogiame Atuase II.
The Shakiris are all the traders, merchants, middlemen. Traders, what I say traders, any article of trade goes. Alright, so one doesn't have to go into the history of the various trades. If you want to take, for instance, during the slave trade, Shakiris were middlemen. Well, from hinterland, people who want to sell their whatever article, either their kids or whatever, you bring them, we buy. And when the foreigners come, we sell to them. When the foreigners want to bring their items of articles of trade now, we buy. And we sell to those who come from the hinterland to buy.
This is Ode Ishekiri, also known as Big Worry. The traditional headquarters town of all Ishekiris, with relics of their early contact with the legendary 15th century Portuguese. The first Portuguese church in Africa, built by Capuchin priests, known here as Capella. This wood carving of a half woman, half fish, with the inscription Mary on it, was said to be by the Portuguese.
The fish that you want to turn to one side the human being, one side the fish.
Okay, now which people build them?
They are for all these. The Portuguese then catch them. The Portuguese then build this thing.
Okay,
Portuguese.
Okay. How long when Portuguese, when I stay with Portuguese?
The wife of one of the early 20th century Ishekiri kings, in this 1988 film clip, enjoying her game of the local chess. I was on the Ebrohimi River, and that's me in this 1989 film clip, 95 years after Ebrohimi was attacked by the British in 1894, Nano Olomu's dream kingdom.
Well, you're here down to the creek leading to Nana Olomu's great Ebrohimi. And this creek was actually built by Ibrahim's Nana slaves in those days of his influence.
In 1989, it was still a desolate creek village of mostly the very old. Nana Olomu's surviving cousin, the eldest of all in Ebrohimi. Then, in 1989, this woman, a close relation of Nana Olomu, was at Nana's funeral in 1916. Nana Olomu of the Shekiri was called Nana Governor by his people. His only surviving son, Robert Ate Nana, in this 1989 film clip.
With the fall of Nana, the glory of the Shekiri sank.
Okay.
You see? With the fall of Nana, the glory of the Shekiri sank. And it will have been a very...
Yes. The glory sank in what way, sir?
You see, when Nana was alive, as governor of the oil rivers, he was with all tribes in the oil rivers. The then last who died, Ikemba the First, 1848. No Olu on the throne, perhaps because of the tyrannical hard rule. The Shekiri resolved not to have Olu again, the Shekiri land being ruled by plutocrats, people of wealth and power.
Okay. Beautiful.
Nana himself was born 1842, so about 6 years before the then last Olu died.
Now, the British officer who who captured him, who led the operations against him.
Yes.
Do you still remember his name?
Sir More.
Good.
Sir Claude MacDonald was the Consul General. When they invited him to come into the worship for discussion, I luckily had a relative who was living with them, whose mother, Shekri, the father, a British. Herbert Clark sent a private message to Nana not to obey the call, for if he did, he would be kidnapped. King Jaja Popobo was kidnapped in 1887. Nana didn't obey the call. Immediately Nana failed to obey the call. Sir Claude MacDonald, Consul General of the Oil River, went on leave. On leave that he went for the machination of Nana's fall. For he said, we have been confronted with another Jaja. Now Sir Moore became the Consul General.
For the first time on television, the great Ishekiris of the historic Niger Delta, King Jinua, Olomu, Donuma, Shanomi, and Nana Governor, all these and more on Kings and Kingdoms of the Niger.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back and get still on to your one-stop breakfast program on MCR TV. Good morning, Abia. And it's time for us to know and see what the papers have for us this morning, talking about the newspaper review. We shall be starting with the Daily Sun this morning. And on the top right corner, we have a headline there. APC PDP trade wars over practice at Justice Odili's residence. Wike slams protesters. It's a story you can find on page 6. Buhari sacks, and the CMD reconstitutes board is a story you can get on page 12. Underneath that is a bold headline: government descends on discos, stops subsidy, brands them failures to decide their fate soon. And of course, that story, you can get the details on page 39. Underneath that, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, second right, Senator representing Enugu North Chukwuka Otaze right, member representing Uzo Owani constituency Josephat Okika, and chairman Uzo Owani local government area, Dr. Bath Ezugu, when the leaders of the council paid a thank you visit to the governor for tarring the 26.665 kilometer Okpabi Nimbo Ubene Ajima Ezeani road yesterday. Insecurity, Senate and DAG security agencies accuses them of aiding arms smuggling, please snap suspected killer of Aso Rock director, comes on pages 6 and 5. Insecurity, Senate and DAG security agencies accuses them of aiding arms smuggling, please snap suspected killer of Aso Rock director. Imo State, Uzodinma Ihejoha's supporters in hot exchanges, drop case of faces Grace Group tells ex-governor. It's a story you can find on page 40. Military probes killing of 4 soldiers in Bayelsa as bandits raise Niger community abduct scores. And of course, you can find the details on pages 41 and 4. World Bank approves $2.2 billion loan for Nigeria is a story you can find on page 2, most of the back page of the Daily Sun newspaper, where we are seeing the Harmattan season, a lesson on climate change. The Harmattan season, a lesson on climate change, coming from Newton Jibuno. You can find the story on page 32. NFF denies Amokachi's appointment. NFF denies Amokachi's appointment. It's a story you can find on page 45 for sports lovers. Underneath that is a column, Oshomole, APC and Bayelsa conundrum. And of course, Oshomole, APC and Bayelsa conundrum is a story coming, a column coming from Muiz Banire. And of course, it's coming with a picture element of the APC National Chair, Oshomole Adams, right there. And that does it for the Daily Sun. We shall be moving quickly to the news, the Nation newspaper this morning to know what the Nation has for us. On the top left corner, 63 on the watch as Lassa fever enters Lagos State. Wow. 63 on the watch as Lassa fever enters Lagos State. And it's coming with a picture element of the Minister of Health, Khani Rosage, and of course, which means people have to be careful because Lassa fever is still around, very much around, which entails personal hygiene and always making sure that you keep your environment clean. But those in Lagos have to really be careful. 63 have been placed on the watch. Well, I won't sponsor violence, says Leon. Is another story coming there with Leon, who actually, I wouldn't want to call him as governor because he wasn't sworn in before the ticket was taken from him, or the certificate rather was taken from him and given to Dewey. Well, it's coming on page 8 as Leon says he will not sponsor violence. And of course, suspects held for murder of presidency director. Suspects held for murder of presidency director is a story you can find on page 4. And Tapa farmer killed in Edo herdsmen attacks. Tapa farmer killed in Edo herdsmen attacks is coming on page 4. You can find the details of that story on page 4. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints Ponday as acting NDDC MD. Comes the picture element of the acting NDDC MD, Ponday, and of course its continuation of that story can be found on page 8. And on the right we're seeing depletion of assets crude account dangerous. ECA drawn down from $325 million to $72 million. Depletion of assets crude accounts dangerous. Continuation can be found on page 8. Underneath that, Dixon, I worked with dedicated team. I worked with dedicated team. Can marches for Leah Sharibu, and details of this service can be found on pages 45 and 41. Underneath that is a picture element of Yobe State Christian Association of Nigeria can use during a rally to mark 2 years of Leah Sharibu in Boko Haram captivity in Yobe yesterday. Yobe State Christian Association of Nigeria can use during a rally to mark 2 years of Leah Sharibu in Boko Haram captivity in Yobe yesterday. And of course it comes with placard of that birthday for Leah Sharibu on the placards there. Underneath that is a screaming headline: this girl's licenses likely for revocation over poor power. This girl's licenses likely for revocation over poor power. Problem of electricity supply is distribution. Minister FEC to decide firm's fate. Problem of electricity supply is distribution. Minister FEC to decide firm's fate. Continuation can be found on page 8. And underneath that, you're seeing court orders release of Dasuki's passports. Court orders release of Dasuki's passports. Leaders hail Uwani on projects. And details of the stories can be found on pages 41 and 4. We'll move to the back page of the Nation newspaper this morning, where we are seeing today in the Nation coming from Lawal, Ogenabo, and it says the Supreme Court has dumped the age-long principle of legal precedent, referring to give conflicting verdicts on similar election cases. It cannot continue to approbate and reprobate like this, otherwise it will throw the nation into anarchy. Today in the Nation coming from Lawal, Ogenabo. Comment and debate is a column coming from Olatunji or Lolade, Reality Bites. It comes with the headline, Goons of Lasma. Goons of Lasma, Part 2. Okay, and of course we are seeing something kind of, I'll be reading it out. Lagos deserves a proactive, humane and ethically sound LASMA, whose officers truly consider their job as both a privilege and an opportunity to serve the people of Lagos to the best of their ability, and to whom much is accorded, with much is expected. If Lagos wishes for commuters to be completely law-abiding, the state government must do its part to make transportation easier. Goons of LASMA. Hardball. Confusion continues. Who is confused and how is confusion continuing? You can get the answers to this question on Handball. Report is a character to spice up your day. Issuing crazy bills is ungodly, says activists. And a man there replies, it is not only ungodly, it is satanic. It is not only ungodly, it is satanic. And of course, that does it for the Nation newspaper this morning. We shall be moving to the last but not the least, that is the New Telegraph newspaper. Access crude account falls by $253 million in 1 month. Federal government, states, local government share $647.353 billion as January revenue. Access crude account falls by $253 million in 1 month. Federal government, states, local government share $647.353 billion at January revenue. Continuation can be found on page 5. Federal government's February bond auction oversubscribed by 284.43%, says DMO. And of course you can find details of that story on page 4. Underneath that are picture elements. First of Mile Pass. World Bank injects $2.1 billion in Nigeria's ID, health, other projects. World Bank injects $2.1 billion in Nigeria's ID, health, other projects. Can be found on page 4. We have another picture element of New Year, and of course that is the acting NDDC's MD. Wari Sachs, acting NDDC's MD, the largest interim board, is a story you can find on page 2. And we are seeing the picture element of the Chief of Army Staff, Buratai there. Buratai says, ambush, gunmen kill 6 soldiers in Bayelsa Plateau. Ambush, gunmen kill 6 soldiers in Bayelsa Plateau States. Comes on page 9. President Buhari to lawmakers, Nigerians feel you are overpaid. Nigerians feel you are overpaid, Buhari to lawmakers. And of course, it comes with the picture element of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Comes on page 11. Underneath that is a bold headline, Federal Government discourse incapacitated, frustrating power supply. Discourse incapacitated, frustrating power supply. Says Nigeria generates 13,000 megawatts. Megawatts distributes 3,000 megawatts. Miles review of privatization to usher in new investors. You can find this story on page 2. Underneath that is a picture element of, from the left to the right, Director, Corporate Communications Department, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Isaac Okorafo. Managing Director, Jais Bank, Malam Hassan Usman. Managing Director, FSDH Merchants Bank, Mrs. Hamda Amdar, Director, Banking Supervision Department, CBN, Mr. Khazan Bello, Managing Director, CEO, Guarantee Trust Bank, Mr. Shegun Awaje, and Acting Managing Director, Nisal Microfinance Bank, Mr. Abdullahi Abubakar Kure, after a press briefing on the outcome of the Bankers Committee meeting in Lagos on Tuesday. Underneath that, can force release of ex-Boko Haram terrorist Tax Bukhari on Leah Sharibu Chibok girls release. Can force release of ex-Boko Haram terrorist Tax Bukhari on Leah Sharibu Chibok girls release is a story you can find on page 4. Underneath that, exercising before breakfast lowers heart disease risk. Exercising before breakfast lowers heart disease risk. So if you know you want to stay free of heart disease and of course heart diseases, well, you can actually start exercising before you take your breakfast. It could be short minute, like 5 minutes, 10, 20, who knows, but just make sure you exercise before breakfast as it lowers heart disease risk. Something on health there. It can be found on page 7. We'll move away from the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper to the back page, where we are seeing on marble coming from R.K. Shelley. Every word and its sound should generate the same form in the mind of both the reader and its author. The politicos waiting for the Third World War is a story you can find on page 14. If only the president knows. If only the president knows. There's a headline there that comes on the column Political Musings coming from Ike Aboy. It comes with a picture element of Sudan and Okoa. And of course, underneath that, okay, is a spot of difference, and that does it for the New Telegraph newspaper this morning. And with that, we have come to the end of the newspaper review, where we've seen some headlines from the Daily Sun, the Nation, and the New Telegraph newspapers. And all you have to do is to go to your vendor, go to your nearest vendor, and grab a copy of 3 of the dailies to read up more, and of course keep yourself abreast of what is happening in the nation. We shall be going on the break, and when we come back, we shall be discussing, or we shall be continuing the topic that we actually started yesterday, that is tackling insecurity and fighting insecurity to make Nigeria a safer and more secure country that you and I can live peacefully and go about our duties and our jobs. But that will be after the break. Don't go anywhere.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate in our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
do not urinate in public places.
You no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make you do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Chukwu na-enye karịa onye ọbụla. Chukwu na-enye karịa onye ọbụla. Ọ na-enye ka ndị ọrụ bekee na-eri ikpege n'ọnwa n'ọnwa. Ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o.
Hello, my name is Buchi. Keep watching MCL TV and don't go away.
Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. What's up, people? It's your boy E-Ben, ministering to God's children, and you're watching MCL TV. Don't touch that dial. Peace. I love you.
MCL, the word in your home.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Information, please listen to the following instruction upon observation of any of the following on your television screen. Bad signal, kindly check the positioning of your antenna or system wire connection. Initial card failure or card error, please remove and bring your smart card to the office. Once your subscription airtime expires, program rewrite or time expired will appear on the screen of the TV set. If you pay for the renewal of the subscription, please leave it on channel 7 for a couple of minutes. When there is a heavy thunderstorm, unplug power cord from the socket. For more inquiry, call Ozumi on 080-3737-3985 or in Homa on 080-6382-0685. Or you can call the technical department 081-4018-1602 or visit our accredited agents around the state. MCO, the word in your home. Hello, my name is Ruti. You can now watch your favorite TV station, MCO TV, anywhere you are around the world by following the simple procedure. Step 1. Go to Play Store and download the Next TV app. Step 2. Look out for the Next TV logo. Step 3. Sign in with your email, Facebook or Google account. Step 4. Click on Entertainment to view MCO TV ARC TV channel. Step 5. Swipe to find MCO TV ARC TV. Enjoy 24 hours entertainment at your comfort. You can follow us on all our social media handle on Twitter at twitter.com/@MCOTV Network, on YouTube at MCOTV YouTube/MCOTV Network, or Facebook web.facebook/MCOTVNetwork.com, or you can WhatsApp on the number 080-330-03356. For more information on MCO TV app, please call the MCO TV customer care number 070-329-80089, 080-5722-2040, or 080-3737-3985. MCL TV, the world is your home.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back. You're still on to your one-stop breakfast program on MCL TV. Good morning, Abia. It's time for us to actually discuss. So we shall be continuing from where we stopped yesterday, talking about security. And of course, it's no longer news that there is an ongoing war, battle for supremacy between the National Security Advisor and the Chief of Staff, talking about Major General Babagana Mongino, retired, and Abia as well. And of course, the National Security Advisor is saying that he's been sidelined on when it comes to taking critical decision about the security, insecurity of the country or things that pertain to security. And of course, it says the service chiefs take directives and instructions from Abia, and he is not involved in any of those directives. And he is actually saying that he is the NSA and he deserves to be in charge of security. And I have with me Eusebio Substance, who is a journalist and of course a public affairs analyst. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Ruth. Good morning, audience.
Okay, so now, there was a statement that Abba Kyari said yesterday. He made a very big statement. He said Kyari directs service chiefs on what to do, and he sometimes issues directive without the knowledge of the president. Now, he said he doesn't know, and much less approval. The president is now aware, let alone approving the directives that the Abakari makes to service chiefs. Now, and he said this is partly responsible for the government's inability to tackle insecurity. Now, what do you make of that statement that he makes directive or issue directive that even the president, the commander-in-chief, the commander-in-chief is not even aware?
Yeah, I'm going to come to your question to answer, but I want to start from somewhere.
Okay.
The first lady of this country, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, raised an alarm to Nigerians. All of us Nigerians, I found that Nigerians are people by cowards, people who are cowards. He raised an alarm. He said, are there no men in Nigeria? You remember he said so? I think we are short of memory. Are there no men in Nigeria that a cabal is running this country? That his husband is not in charge? And people take it for granted. Abakari, Bamandara, and a few others are the ones running this country. Buhari just stays there. The man we elected is not running the country. And Nigerians are keeping quiet. These are from rising up to say an appointee of government has no right to run our country for us. For God's sake, we never voted Abakari into government. In 2015. In 2019, even though that the election, whatever it is, let us take it to a company that we was elected. We elected Buhari and not Abakari. Mongino has now let the cat out of the bag to let us know who is running our country. And in the whole southwest, we have men of Kimba caliber. In the whole southeast, we have men of Kimba caliber. In the whole south, we have men of Kimba caliber. In the whole northern state,
We have men acting like Taliban. We have traditional rulers, people who should speak out. Everybody is keeping quiet. The youth, the student union, everybody has kept quiet. For an appointee of government to run our country for us, running of into disaster. You can see everybody being killed every day. A bloody civilian by the palace of the military town is running the architecture of our military system. Instead of the national security advisor, who is a general, who is supposed to, the service chiefs must come with him and they plan out how to secure the nation and then advise the president. A bloody civilian who is not, has no military knowledge is the one running the country.
Do you think this could be responsible for the lapses, the security situation that we have?
I told you there are people who are benefiting from this. I told you the problem they have about the fight against insurgency is the enemy within. Yes, this is responsible.
You made a point that Abia has no security background.
Yes, so how can he?
Do you think this could be maybe he issues orders that really does not reflect?
Somebody told me from Abuja that the fear of Abia is the beginning of wisdom. And that is why you can even see the governors even in all the states. Recently, our governors in the southeast were trying to thank the president over the Niger bridge. They also will say, thank you, Mr. President, thank you, Chief of Staff. What has Chief of Staff to do? Why are you thanking Chief of Staff? Is he the president of the country? That's the situation we find ourselves. People go to kowtow to him in order to get to one point or the other. He is the one who is the de facto president of Nigeria. The man who never elected.
But then the question is, why did Monguno have to? Why did he have to wait for so long before?
You see, Monguno
it doesn't think because it's not affecting him. That's why he's speaking. No, he saw all these things before, and he didn't say anything about. Why wait till now?
No, you see, look, there are certain things you do. You must have your facts correctly. The question comes even, how do we find out how was the letters, how did it come out? There are insinuations we are hearing here and there that how the letters come out. You know, so who must have been the letters? So Monguno for having cried out loud has shown that he's a gentleman. Presidential, the national security advisor, after the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the national security advisor is the second man as far as security is concerned who advises the president after meeting with the service chiefs and the secretary of police. It is his responsibility. They are subservient under him and not to the chief of staff. It's not done anywhere in the world.
Now, most Nigerians are of the view that the president should have responded to this. While some are saying While some are saying the letter was not addressed, it's not public, it was leaked actually. It came public one way or the other. So that maybe that's why the president hasn't responded. What you have to say about it? Do you think the president should have responded? Because other people are of the view that once he responds, the tension will be.
The president is not in charge. I must confess this to you. Forget about this semantics. The president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, is not in charge of the government of Nigeria. Abia has influenced him so much that the president does not listen to any other person. The right use the word, he has been bewitched. The president can not say.
What do you think it could be quiet because he's avoiding, the tension from growing?
The box stops on his level. If he realizes himself, if really the man, you see that I don't want to go into the question of competence or incompetence. So nobody will say I'm just doing this. The reality is this: if you are in charge, you must be able to put your feet down and say yes, I am here. Okay? And then you stand. You are the boss. The boss stops on his level. Everybody is talking about Buhari's administration. Nobody is talking about Abia administration. But they are not left to listen. For people to be, how can a president of the country go to a place and they are bullying him? It's a shame. In other class, you go back home, you resign, and you leave the office.
Now how does now most people are of the view that these two men should not be fighting for supremacy, especially at this point in time when security is sensitive and Nigerians need, everyone to be.
It's not a question of fighting for supremacy.
Okay.
The young man didn't say Monguno is not talking about fighting for supremacy. He doesn't want to be chief of staff. Monguno has an appointment that was given to him by the president as the national security advisor. And as the national security advisor, is a portfolio that is sensitive. It's a portfolio that he gets all the information about security details. That is by the right thing, that's what it's supposed to be. And he's the one now to advise the president, the commander-in-chief, on what to do. Now, a very civilian, let me use the balance that we say in the military. An idle civilian, let me use that word. He's now running the affairs. It's not done.
Okay. Now, how does this? You said I should not use the word fight for supremacy. Now, how is this going to affect?
That is affecting insecurity because fine, Abia possibly is the one that is making the statement in the presidency that the service chiefs cannot be changed. Because if Abia is not the one that is taking control and deciding what happens, by now the service chiefs are supposed to have changed. They have performed, but their performance is not been good enough for us. So they need to have left so that we get new people with new ideas. Prepared patriotic officers. As of now, the morale of our soldiers are low, very low. They can't fight. They don't have the necessary ammunition to fight. And once the morale of the troops are not okay, because the morale can only be okay when the commanders morale are high. Those who days during the Nigerian Biafra war, when there is a soldier or the veteran army was in the forefront, we are ready to go and die for him. When our was in the forefront, we are ready to go and die for him. When he came by himself, or Bobo Juku was in the forefront, when we fought at Ubuta sector, when the federal troops were coming to Ubuta, he led the operation. We were there, we are ready to die for him. When the morale of the officers are okay, the morale of the government is okay. So if the officers are dampened, how will the foot soldiers perform? Your commander determines how your battalion or your brigade or your division is. So most of the officers are downcasted because they are looking at now they have no opportunity. Many of them have been retired, even when they are supposed to have risen to the position that they will be retired. You just stagnate the place. It is very wrong.
Now, you were saying something at the beginning of enemy within. Now, the National Assembly and the senators have actually accused security agencies for being compromised, saying that they aid arms smuggling. In fact, one of the agencies that was actually indicted was the Nigerian Immigration Service. They connive with criminals to smuggle in arms. Now, does this actually confirm when some Nigerians say there's sabotage somewhere else?
There is, I agree with you. But then the question is, at what point did the National Assembly people come to realize this? These are the issues. People are sent out to Abuja to go and perform a duty. But they are not out there for the duty, they are out there for what? Their selfish ends, their pockets. The legislature is supposed to be a check to the executive, a check to all what is the oversight functions. You have the chairman of committee on immigration, chairman of committee on defense, chairman of committee in the army, chairman of committee in Navy. They are all there. What is the oversight function? Have you ever heard that the National Assembly have been able to ask $1 billion that was taken away from our resources to buy ammunition? Sometime that cost an awful lot. Have they been able to find out whether those ambitions were bought or not? It is the oversight functions to do that. Have they been able to find out the immigration? What is the immigration the controller general or whatever? How is that? How is it that all our brothers are followers? Why is it that the Assembly could not ask the president to for how to make money instead of to serve the people that elected them there. If the other functions are there, they are able to know that if you are there, you find out immigration, find out the customs, how are they working. If those people are doing their job maximally, will there be infiltrators? Now, the National Assembly was there when a policy of the executive that anybody can come into Nigeria from every part of the world, especially the Fulanis, let's be realistic. When you come here, we now give you visa on arrival. Is it done? Is there anywhere in the world it is done? And somebody was able to say Nigeria is the homeland of the Fulanis. Immigrants. The indigenous Nigerians are keeping quiet. These are the policies that cause problems all over the place. So if the legislators are sincere, they are patriotic Nigerians, ready to serve the people, and that they should be the conscience of the people, they should ask questions. It is oversight functions to find out why it is not done. A resolution was passed by the people. The National Assembly is representing us, and they passed a resolution asking the president that the service chiefs are supposed to leave. And what has happened? Badamila and Lama just went to see the president and came back, and you can hear what they were talking on the TV screen. Sidetracking the resolution that was taken by the National Assembly. I cry for this country.
The one question that is on the lips of every Nigerian is, how did we get to this point?
We got to this point by accepting negativity, accepting the wrong things, bringing people that has no that lack character. Once you lack character, you have no integrity. It is from character you have your integrity built. There are a lot of men masquerading as leaders in this country that have no character. I can name you. The APC national chairman. Let's not. Okay, so the way he's talking, the way he's behaving, a leader. You saw when the girl who was the chairman of APC. You saw a gentleman. If even just meeting him, you meet a gentleman. You see how he talks. You see how he carried on. Then the APC chairman, Akande, you saw men of integrity. Today we have a lot of men who lack character and integrity, masquerading as our leaders, and that's the problem we have. That's how we got there. And when you have leaders who don't have this, the nation suffers it. The ordinary Nigerians will suffer it because their aim is to plunder the national resources for their selfish ends.
Well, now you were saying something. Now let us look at this particular scenario. Maybe someone was to work, or maybe is making steps towards maybe in one way or the other. Let's take the Minister of Communications, Pantami, for example, who actually threatened that he would cut communications of Boko Haram, and then Shekau, the leader of Boko Haram, the faction leader of Boko Haram, threatened to kill him if he dares to do that, and even made mention of one Sheikh Jafar they dealt with and said Pantami is nothing compared to Sheikh Jafar. I mean, making opening threats to actually attack a minister, and no one has talked about it. Don't you think this could be one of the reasons why people are not really doing their best, or being bold to actually do something against this?
There is something there. There's something there. The Shekau threat is nothing to us. A country called Nigeria and a nobody called Shekau is threatening the nation. Immediately he sneezes, Nigeria shakes. Isn't it a shame? Why? Because the people in government who are supposed to protect our lives and property are the same people sabotaging the efforts to achieve the goals. That's the issue. Shekau has the right to threaten Pantami. government person, if he is bold enough, will do what he wants to do. Who is Shekaru to Patani? You are backed by 200 million Nigerians with all the resources this nation has, with all the powers we have as a sovereign nation. But because the people undermining the country are the same people that are in government, are the same people that are in the army. And when you catch a terrorist who has killed our soldiers, men and women, raped them, killed them, you say you have rehabilitated them and bring them back to join the army. So, if they say they want to get to Patani, it could be those people who have been there, they can be used to get a Patani. So that's the problem. That's why I said they live within.
We shall actually open the phone line for you to call in and to be part of the program. Give us a contribution or your opinion on the topic being discussed. It is on strengthening security in the nation. Who is to blame? Matters arising. How do we tackle this vice? How do we nip it in the bud? How can we say of a truth that Nigeria has won the war over insecurity? What is to be done? What are we getting wrong? How can we get it right? What is the way forward? And of course, you can be part of the discussion by calling the number on your screen. Now, okay, before I ask you the next question, let's let this go. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. Mr. Daniel, let's say your contribution. Mr. Daniel, call us back to be a part of the program, and of course we shall be here to take your call. Now, the question is not even maybe enemy within and all that. Now, the question is, don't you think the president himself is trying a lot, giving out too much, because there are monies being actually allocated for security? Don't you think, you know, it will not really be the presidency, the money is released, but these monies are being diverted, and of course everyone is blaming the presidency or the president of that money, that he is trying his best. Don't you think so?
His best is not good enough for our nation, Nigeria. The president is releasing money. If I give money, even in my house, if I give money to my wife or my children to do a thing, I come back, I'll find out whether it is done. The president releases money means nothing to us. If you release money, and people take the money and use it to go and buy houses in Dubai, and use the money to buy houses in America and in Britain, in the place that we are going to buy arms. It happened. Even when we were there, it happened. Money was given to one man, he took our money to go to others. He bought houses in Lisbon. So what are we talking about? He was in the colonial power. He was the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. So let's not go there. But do you, as a leader, if you raise funds, won't you monitor whether those funds are utilized for what we are doing? The same thing happens among our governors. Contracts are awarded. Do this XYZ road. And it is signed and all that. You only are living until when the commissioner for works or the director of works comes or the commander comes. Why don't you, it is your responsibility as release fund to make sure that thing that was meant for the benefit of the people, I will go to find out, was it done to specification? Is it the level I want it? If it is not, I'll get the commander, no, I won't pay you. Unless you do, they'll get it to standard. Why is it that, are you aware that even though things are manufactured for America and everywhere, they do it for America? You have to talk about American specification. Even if it's a car you are building, there's American specification. Because they have a high ID, high value, the kind of thing they want, quality. You release money for people to buy ammunition, and they go instead of buying the best of ammunition, they go and buy ammunition that they are used in fighting the Second World War, and bring it into the country for our soldiers to go and use and fight.
No, talking about the enemy within, some soldiers, I'm aware that you are aware, they ambushed in Bayelsa State. I'm sure you're aware of that, and were killed. Now, what do you think can be done to, it simply means, if there's an ambush, which simply means that these other guys, terrorists, have pre-information of whatever is going to happen, because for them to be ambushed means they were already aware that these soldiers, they are coming. What do you think can be done to, stop or to, I don't know how to put it, I'm looking for the right word to use. What do you think can be done to make sure that our military is safeguarded and we don't hear stories of ambush and killings of soldiers who have actually sacrificed or set out their times to tackle insecurity, because they're the ones at the forefront of this. They're the ones in the bushes. They're the ones going out to fight the insurgents.
Yeah, you see, I have a way to answer that question. I am against anybody killing a soldier. If you know what a nation spends to train a soldier, even training a policeman, I'm against anybody killing a policeman. But the question is, if you look at the ambush in Bayelsa and the ambush that happened in the north, between the commander of the operation, and all that, there are two different things. How do I say so? In this side of the corner, the question is, our soldiers who are in the riverine areas, let us be open, should be able to understand the realities of the job as a soldier. You don't be a soldier and you start going to seek a way to start running for oil. A lot of them are involved in oil, rat oil, or what do you call it? What those nonsense they do in that area. You don't go involved in these things. Mind your assignment. Your assignment is protect the oil fields, protect the oil wells, protect this thing. But don't go down joining the vandals or the thieves, oil thieves, to give them cover in order to steal our resources and sell. In the course of doing that, sometimes they have problems among themselves. But only that, instead of them focusing on what they do to not allow this to do that, when they have problems, you see, this is why they have these problems. Unlike the one that happened in the north, the one that happened in the north is sabotage among the military.
So how do we stop the sabotage?
How do we stop this sabotage? Is when the people who are supposedly to take care of these things, ask questions, and with intelligence get out those people who are doing that. In as much, look, when I use the word enemy within, if our soldiers are to go on attack by 5 p.m., 18 hours or 17 hours, and an enemy within is aware, he lets the enemy know that by this time our people will be coming on this route. The people will now go and ambush. During when we were in Biafra, we got the secret of the Abia sector of the thing when they were coming from Enugu in order to catch up with the Onisha, the second division. And we waited for them. We told them that and that was one of the high marks of the Biafran army. So what am I saying? If they really within, look, we can, if our people, if our leaders, those in government, those in the army, the leaders in the army are prepared for us to stop insurgency in Nigeria, we can stop it. Boko Haram could have been defeated. Not technically defeated or decimated as they use the language. That's a deceit. It's a lie and propaganda.
Don't you see, this fight against insecurity, the legislature has a big role to play.
That's what I'm telling you, that the legislatures are out there for their pockets. I'm sorry to use that word. Only few of them there know where they came there from. Some go there to sleep. Some have been there, they have not been passed one bill. But then, the main job of the nation is making law, am I right? Then there's another one that is most important even among the body of laws. Oversight functions. Budgets are made for the military. Have the committee on military or army or defense, have they been able to find out whether that money that was budgeted in billions for us to buy this type of arms, how was it utilized?
Let's hold on to your thoughts and let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Okay, you're saying something, Secretary?
Has it been utilized? The specifications. We are supposed to get us AK-47. You are supposed to get us Tomahawk helicopters. You are supposed to get us this. Are they, when the thing arrived, have the committee gone to see whether those things are there? Look at the proforma or the other papers and find out if there are the correct things that we have.
Don't you think you should be making laws also that will be very, very strict on insurgency? Like we're seeing cases of Boko Haram members, suspected members released.
And that's what I said. I said it earlier that somebody said that a terrorist that has an ideology, and his ideology is to dismember Nigeria and cause more problems and kill our people. Islam said he's been born again, and then you put him into the army, and then tomorrow you want to go to war with him. What will he do? He will do a saboteur. So that's the issue. So the question is, who is that is in government that is parading this kind of view? That the repentant terrorists that have been killing our soldiers have been suffering to secure us. Somebody has been killing him, is now brought back to go and do it. If a soldier will have to fight again.
Okay, now let us also look at this. What is the way forward? How can we, we've talked about insecurity, talk about this. Yeah, we know that there are underlying factors and all this. Now, how do we get it right? Yes, we know we've got to the point where we've got it wrong. Now, how do we right this wrong?
We can't get it right when the administration, the head of the administration and his cohorts are not prepared to get it right. When we decide to get it right, if they decide to get it right, and shun away ethnicism, nepotism, and all the ills that has been done in this nation in the fight against Boko Haram and Islam, by making sure that this crop of service chiefs are sent away, and new crop of service chiefs that will have nationalistic coloration favor, that realizes that this is a national issue. Are you hearing me? And now we go there with new ideas. Let me tell you, I still repeat it, when Jonathan Revolution was there were other service chiefs that were there. They were not performing. And Jonathan was angry and all that. He brought in Nejirika, and Nejirika came up, and Boko Haram saw her. Somebody now started shouting. The president started shouting.
And the war against Boko Haram was not totally one time.
No. He started shouting and started blackmailing Nejirika.
But he didn't really shout, but the war against Boko Haram was not won.
No. But it has been won now.
No, I'm not trying to say, because you were referring to the past administration.
Yes. Listen.
They won the war against Boko Haram.
No. At that time Nejirika came, we started winning the war against Boko Haram. But the same people now started attacking him, and that made Jonathan to support that. And attack on Boko Haram was attacking the north. Jonathan chickened out. That is the issue. You can also remember that even Jonathan's name was sent to ICC. If this administration is sincere, patriotic, and ready to fight this insurgency, by now Boko Haram will be a thing of the past. Get a kind of crop of leaders, officers who are sincere to say enough is enough. This is my motherland, this is my fatherland. We must not allow these people to come in here and terrorize our people, name our wives, rape our grandmothers and mothers.
Sure, hold on to your words. Hello, good morning. Please reduce the volume of your TV set while calling, or you actually move away from your TV set, if you want to contribute to what we have been discussing. We have been looking at insecurity, or rather security in the nation, and what can be done to, clamp down on insecurity and win the fight against insecurity. And of course, Mr. Eusebio Substance has been doing this, discussing this particular topic with me, as he has been sharing with us the lacuna and of course the possible loopholes and things that actually are missing when it comes to the fight against insecurity. And of course, we have been also discussing on the way forward. So you are saying that the only solution is to change the service chiefs.
Then the government must have the political will to say we want to.
Don't you think the service chiefs, like I asked you yesterday, I know I'm asking you again, are experienced? These are men who are experienced in their various fields.
What do you call experience?
Of endeavor, and maybe because they are receiving wrong directives from the person that NSA says is issuing the.
That could be one of them.
So we can't.
No, you will. You will. Let me tell you.
You cannot get directive from and you do all the.
When we are in the war front those days, when we get to the war front, there are certain situations you are not waiting for a commander. Survival instinct comes in. You must make a way to make sure you save. The man that survives is the hero. The man that dies is not a hero. So you have to fight, and if you fight and you are cut off and all that, you find a way to come out of the cut off. So what they are saying is the commanders of the army or the service chiefs and all that getting bad at this. So that's what I'm telling you, the enemy could be within. The man that gives you orders and you obey it, and you know he's not in that position. He doesn't have the military experience. What does he know about cut-offs? What does he know about intelligence gathering? What does he know about raking? Sometimes during the war, we go and become houseboys, behind enemy lines. And it is from there you are going to get the information on when they are going to attack, when they are going to listen.
But by virtue of authority that's talking about the chief of staff, he is higher than they are.
See,
so what do they do if he directs them to do something? Should they disobey him?
I told you that what happens in Abuja is that the fear of Abia is the beginning of wisdom. All of them could talk to him instead of listening to the commander-in-chief. So that's the problem we have. We have an appointee of government ruling Nigeria.
You said listening to the commander-in-chief. The commander-in-chief doesn't say anything. He issued the directive.
He doesn't say no, we don't have told you that the commander-in-chief does not even give up the way what happens. That certain orders are given by the chief of staff that the commander-in-chief is not aware. I'm not quoting, I'm quoting what you told me that you read.
That is from the circular.
Fine, from the circular. So if that circular did not leak, and I know a lot of that will go because that circular was leaked. And if what we are hearing from the grapevine, that some people have been killed as a result of that, then we're able to find out what is happening. So the issue is, the truth is, how come that in spite of all the resources this administration has put into the fight against insurgency, we are not winning. Shekau, according to the so-called propaganda and lies, have been killed many times before in this country. Yes or no? You should be abreast with that. Shekau has been killed. Shekau is dead. Shekau is dead. But Shekau is up again. And is able to be sending videos, threatening people, threatening what do you call them? The Bantamon, whatever. So, which means they are not been killed. So, why the lies are propaganda? It means that this administration is not able to provide security of life and property. And in other times, if a government finds that it cannot be able to fulfill its promises, you resign and let a new set of people take over and then start a new process of making a country a better place to live.
All right, thank you very much. You saved your substance. Thank you very much. On that note, we've come to the end of the discussion segment. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Yusebi Substance.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, we now come to the end of today's edition of Good Morning Abia, and I'm sure you actually have gotten one or two from that particular discussion. But tomorrow is another day. Time is 8 a.m. Station is MCO TV. Just stay tuned for Unasalachi Omabia and enjoy the rest of the programs in your darling station, MCO TV. I am Ruth Ohans. Do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.